Hi, this is KCC again at the KCC's weekly updates. Today I'm going to talk about business, and I want to talk about how to build successful business in recessionary time. As all of you are aware, moving into 2023, we have been told there's going to be tough times ahead, and the economic outlook has not been good. It's gloomy and very uncertain, and there are all kinds of news about global slowdown as well as recession on the way. So we have to be aware of this, and we have to prepare ourselves, especially for those of you who are in business or about to start your own business. So nobody knows for sure how bad it will be, but we better be safe than to be sorry. And for any of you who are starting business especially, you have to take into account the possibilities and the worst case scenario. Everywhere in the world, the news is the same. Now, in the economic storm that is about to come, we know for sure that the business is going to get tougher in the future. But I also want to let you know that it is not only tougher for us, it's tougher for everybody. Tougher for your competitors, tougher for suppliers, tougher for everybody. So the issue is not what happened to us or what's going to be out there in terms of the economic situation, because it affects everybody. The issue is how you respond to what happened to us. So it's not about sitting there and complaining about the situation. It is what you do to respond to it that matters at the end of the day. Now, as the market gets tougher, you will realize that you'll probably be chasing after a slice of a smaller pie. And to do that, your strategy had to change a little. In order for you to be able to run faster, run better, run longer, and run stronger, the question is, are you ready? Are you ready to be prepared to do that in an economic situation that we're going to face? I've been teaching people how to build smart business for a long time. We have a program based on the business model which I've developed, which consists of 6 components. I call it the smart business model. And I eventually put it into a book, which was published. It's my first hard copy. It's called The Ultimate Entrepreneur's Guide, The Entrepreneur's Treasure Chest. Now, I have built the I have created the Building Smart Business series. I've created the Building Smart Business Mastery System based on some of these ideas that I'm going to share with you. Now, I have developed the Building Smart Business Mastery System, of which I'm going to share some part of it with you all today. A couple of strategies. First strategy is don't do what everybody else is doing. You have to use the contrarian principle. The question, of course, is why swim in the red ocean? There are a lot of other people playing there, and you should be creating your own blue ocean. Warren Buffett, in his very famous statement, says, "We simply attempt to be fearful when others are greedy, and to be greedy when others are fearful." So you're going to do what everybody else is not doing, and not do those things that everybody else do. So the idea here is business is like a living thing, and all living things, there's only 2 states. Either you grow or you die. There's no in between, yeah? So the best thing to do for a business during turbulent times, where everybody is fearful, I have a different suggestion. I suggest you grow. Now, you will probably be wondering, how do we do that, Imagine if you're in a particular business and you and all your competitors are facing the same economic challenges. So at the end of the day, the question is, who's going to survive? Well, what you can do proactively is to go out there and talk to some of the competitors and say, is it possible for us to work together because this pie is smaller now, and instead of us fighting over the same small pie, is there a way we can incorporate some collaboration that we can grow together? And there are ways to do that. You might choose to go to one of your competitors, the one that is facing the most difficult challenge, and you know that they are kind of, almost in a dying state. When you go to them and say, look, why don't we do this? Why don't I take care of the business for you? You let me take care of the clients because our products are very similar. I will pay you 20 cents for every dollar that you received, and you don't have to run the business anymore, but you can still do it under your company, and I'll build them under your company. It will still be your clients, but I'll incorporate it in my whole operation. In that sense, you grow your business by getting another business in and helping them out with challenges they face. Now, this is an idea you should consider. Now, successful people are people who do things when other people do not. And this will require you to be pretty brave and be willing to jump out of the bowl. Because if you keep doing what everybody else do, you'll probably end up what everybody else will be. So think about that. The next strategy is to be a data-driven business. Issue here is this. The market has changed tremendously, especially over the last 3-4 years. Things are no longer the same, and there are always new scenarios that you may not know about. And the worst thing is, as a business owner, you don't know what you don't know. You're completely blank. You don't even aware there are certain areas that you are not aware of. But that's dangerous. Well, better if you know what you don't know. At least you know what you don't know. That would be a better state. But the best thing to do is to get to know what you don't know. So there are lots of things happening out there that you may not be aware. Changing customer requirements, changing technology, changing processes, business model, and so on and so forth. And if you are completely blank about that, that's a dangerous thing if you're running business. So please understand this. There is no precedent to problems that have never happened before. So today's environment is, there are problems that we face that never was the case before. So if it has no precedent, there's no solution. They're going to come from the past. You cannot look at the past to come up with solutions. Now, traditionally, that's what we do. In any business, we come up with ways how to solve issues because of past experience. But in a new environment that we're in, the present situation has no precedence. So how do you solve this problem? New challenges require new and brave decisions and solutions that have never been done before. So smart business need to make smarter decisions. And how do you make smarter decisions? The smarter decision requires you to look at today's data and start afresh and look at the whole thing as a whole new scenario, a whole new challenge, and not entirely depend on it. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm saying the past is not important. I'm saying you cannot rely on it as much as before. Hi, this is KCC, and thank you for coming to the session. And there are lots and lots of valuable information that I'm providing here. So don't forget to subscribe to this channel right now. Below, press the button, and you will constantly be given all this very important information that has great impact on you. All right? And one of the CEO that I have great admiration for is Jack Welsh, the former legendary CEO of GE. He said something very powerful. He said, if the rate of change on the outside is faster than the rate of change on the inside, the end is near. So the question is, how fast are you going to change in relation to the change happening outside? So that comes to my strategy number 3. Change faster than the change outside. Now, how are you going to change faster than the change outside? And there are only 2 ways really to make changes effectively and productively. One is to learn. And it's often been said, your ability to learn faster than your competitors is the only true competitive advantage. So you need to open your mind to learning, and you need to try new things, no matter what business you're in, and no matter how long you have been in business. Now, there are some things that you either cannot learn or don't want to learn or too difficult to learn, in which case you have to realize that there are experts outside that can do the things that you cannot do or have the things that you don't have. So the second L here is to leverage, which is a very important and powerful skill. Find people who has what you don't have and can do what you cannot do. And that requires you to build network, build collaboration. So with these 2 things in mind, you can change faster than normal. Learn new things and leverage on others who have what you don't have and can do what you cannot do. So the real crisis, as my mentor says, Robert Kiyosaki says, is really inside your head. And what is that crisis? The crisis is your inability to make changes. So finally, the question, how to be crazy smart? We're talking about running smart business. So how are you going to be crazy smart? Go into the business for the passion, not the emotions. In other words, if you go into any business, you must have a real rational reason for going in. Passion is fine because that's good, that drives energy, but not go into something because it's exciting, because somebody get you excited and the emotions is there. That's the wrong reason for going to any business. So look for a good reason to start, not just the excitement, all right? Now, I go back to my smart business model, and I'm going to make a couple of suggestions out of my 6 points. My 6 points was, the initial part is running business smart require you to understand the SMART principle. The second part is looking for opportunities. Innovation is another very important scope of running smart business. Marketing mathematics is about sales. It's about how you get your numbers right, how you're going to get a constant flow of sales into your organization. Business modeling is another very important part, of course, because things have to change and the business model has to change. Leverage, which we talk about, and marketing physics are basic marketing that every entrepreneur needs to know. All right? Now, at this point we are in today, it is no longer the big fish that eat the small. It's not size that is the only issue now. It is about speed. It is the fast that eats the slow rather than the big that eat the small. I got a couple of suggestions. So number one, be a visionary. See things that other people cannot see or would not see. Well, that's what being entrepreneurship is about. You must have the ability to see beyond what is present and to look into the future and be able to know what is possible, what is viable, and what you can do to build your business. It's like looking at this glass of water, and some people will say it's half full, and some people say it's half empty. So who's correct? Well, there's no wrong, no right. Either one is correct. But it's a question of how you see things, yeah? But you notice one thing, we're all looking at the same thing. All of us are looking at the same picture. But some of us choose to see it half empty, and some of us choose to see it half full. So the issue is not what our eyes see, it's what our mind pick up. So educating your mind and getting the right mindset is an important part of your ability to see things beyond the present. My second suggestion is to be a disruptor. Today, it is either you go out there and disrupt the industry you're in, or somebody else will come and disrupt you. And it is very important to realize that technology is going to change a lot of things, and you're going to be really up to date with what's happening in the technology field, in the innovation field. Things that comes out which will totally make what and how you do things obsolete. Now, as a business owner, you're not expected to be a technology expert. Good if you are, of course. But a strategic understanding of technology is very important because these are drivers for your business transformation. So you have to look at some of the new technologies out there, at least have an understanding what it means and how it's going to potentially impact your business. Things like artificial intelligence, virtual reality, augmented reality, blockchain, all these things are technologies that you will need to be familiar with because ultimately there will be some impact on your business. Now, I have been very excited about some of the new things happening out there. In the property space, I went into AI and I went into blockchain, how to change the whole scenario. I'm also very excited about the metaverse and NFTs and how to change the whole retail market. So these are things that I would suggest that you look into, all right? So my final suggestion is to persevere and to be able to go through this tough time. In the next few years, business is going to be tough, economic situation is going to be challenging, and it will take a toll out of some of us. And the question is, how tough are you? Because it's going to be rough all the way, yeah? And I go back to a point I made earlier, that what happened to us is not only happening to you, it happens to anyone or everyone. So back to the point again, the issue is not what happened to you, the issue is how you respond to what happened to you. So there's a formula that I like to give you, E plus R equals O. E is the event. That event is not likely only exclusively yours. The event could be with anybody else. But the R is going to be different with different people. Different people respond with different R. And that will give rise to the O, the outcome. So the outcome is dependent on your response. The event you cannot control. You have no control of what's going to happen out there. You can't possibly control the economy, can you? But the only thing you can control is how you're going to respond to it, right? So one other thing that is very important, therefore, is the mindset issue. How do you look at things happening out there? We all want to go further. We want to go faster. We want to grow bigger. But at the end of the day, all of us have objectives that we want to get our mind into. There are some people that are objective focused. They focus their entire energy, the efforts, their organization on what the objectives are. And however, there are some people, the moment they start thinking about their objective in the future, they start thinking about the obstacles. They start thinking about all the problems there's going to be. And they're going to divert their energy and their attention on what are the possible obstacles. Well, you need to be aware of them, of course, to preempt possibilities, but to focus your entire attention on obstacles and become very obstacle focused is going to distract you away from your objective. Now, if you're going to focus your time and effort on your objective, does it mean the obstacle will disappear? No, it doesn't. It's still going to be there. But that's where you should put your focus on. Not on problems, not on challenges. Be aware, preempt it, but the entire focus should be on getting to where you want to go. I wish you all the best in the coming years, and I'm sure all of you will benefit from this session in terms of some of the ideas I share with you. Only issue is to implement it. Good luck and all the best. This is KCC on KCC's Weekly Updates. Thank you.